The crucifixion is such an important story and one that you need to learn. When you learn this, make sure that you also learn the next story, which is the resurrection, which completes this story. But let's get right into it. I'm going to give you just a few hand gestures that will help you to remember the general flow of the story from start to finish. So let's just start out. You put your little finger and your thumb together and you make a crown, and we're going to call this the crown of thorns. And then we have you put your two fingers and we're going to go across, and with that that's the sign for Lord, but we're going to have King of the Jews. So crown of thorns, King of the Jews. They laughed and called him King of the Jews. Then they beat him and spit upon him. Now when we do that, we're going to pop up with a 2. So we'll remember that he was taken with 2 criminals and taken to the place of the skull. So they beat and spit upon him, 2 criminals, and then go to your own skull, to the place of the skull. And so let's just back up. We have the crown of thorns, King of the Jews. They beat him and spit upon him. 2 criminals went to the place of the skull. Then they put all 3 of them on crosses with Jesus in the middle. So all 3 on crosses, Jesus in the middle. Now your hand's right here, so you open up this palm and you write what Pilate wrote, King of the Jews. Then with that you reach back and you put the cross in place. Now let's just back up. Say it with me. Get your hands up so you can practice this. It doesn't work just sitting there watching it. So what's the first one? Crown of thorns, King of the Jews. They spit upon him and beat him. 2 criminals taken to the place of the skull. Put all 3 upon crosses with Jesus in the middle. King of the Jews. You put the cross up. Now with your hands already up, you put the cross in place and you say, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Then you bring your hands down. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so we have place of the skull, put on crosses, Jesus in the middle, King of the Jews. Put the cross in place, Father, forgive them, and then it's 9 o'clock. Now at this point, you make a triangle, up, down, over, up, and farther up. And it goes like this. If you're the Son of God, come down from the cross. He can save others. He can't save himself. Why doesn't God help? Do it again. If you're the Son of God, come down from the cross. He saved others. Can't save them. He can't save himself. Why doesn't God help? Then we're going to go, the 2 criminals are talking, and it's out, in, out, in, out, in. But each time we do it, we're going to go with 1 finger, in, 2 fingers, in, 3 fingers, in, because we're going to need that 3. So it's save yourself and us. Don't you fear God? We deserve this. He's an innocent man. Remember me when you come in your kingdom. Now you've got your 3. And at noon, there was darkness in the area for 3 hours. Okay, let's back up now. And let's just go through everything up to this point. We have what is it? I'm going to go slow so you can actually say it ahead of me. We have the crown of thorns, King of the Jews. They beat him, spit upon him. 2 criminals taken to the place of the skull, put on crosses with Jesus in the middle. King of the Jews, put him in place. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. For 9 hours. Then we go, if you're the Son of God, come down. Save himself. He saved others, but he can't save himself. Why doesn't God help? Save yourself and us. Don't you fear God? We deserve this. He is an innocent man. Remember me. And then Jesus points at him and say, you will be with me in paradise today. Okay. Then we have the sky being covered with darkness for 3 hours. Now, over here then we have at 3 o'clock, we have, my God, why have you forsaken me? So we have the darkness at noon, darkness for 3 hours. Then at 3 o'clock, my God, why have you forsaken me? It's finished. And then he bowed his head and died. Okay? 3 o'clock, my God, why have you forsaken me? It's finished. And he died. Now your head's down and the earth shakes. Earth shakes and the rocks split apart. Then the veil, you have a ripping. You rip the veil from the top to the bottom. The veil is ripped in two. So let's just go through that again. You have, it's finished. And then he dies. Now while you're down here, you have the earth shaking, the rocks splitting apart, the veil being torn from top to bottom. And then the soldier points up. It's true. He is the Son of God. Now with your hand still up there, we're going to use that. Some other soldiers come and break the legs of the 2 thieves. But with Jesus, they take the spear and pierce his side. Then they bring the body down and they wrap it in linen cloth, lay it in the tomb, roll the stone. Now again, I have my 3 fingers. They roll the stone, and there's my 3 fingers. Okay, but let's just back up. The earth shook, the rocks split in half, the veil was ripped from top to bottom. This really was the Son of God. Break the legs, spear in the side, bring him down, wrap him in cloth, put him in the tomb, roll the stone. Now they knew that Jesus said he'd rise from the dead after 3 days. So they asked Pilate to put the seal. Now you're going to put a seal right next to your hand. You put a seal on the stone. Roman laws, you broke that seal, it was a death penalty. So they put the seal right there on that stone, and they put 2 guards up. Okay. Let's go through the whole thing from start to finish. Now I'm going to go slow. And I want you to do the hand gestures and say it before me. That way I can follow you and you can make sure that you are doing it right. Okay, how does it start? Crown of thorns, King of the Jews. They spit on him, beat him. 2 criminals. They took all 3 to the place of the skull. Put all 3 on crosses with Jesus in the middle. King of the Jews. Put the cross up in place. Father, forgive them. It was 9 o'clock. If you're the Son of God, come down from the cross. He saved others. can't save himself. Why doesn't God help? Save yourself and us. Don't you fear God? We deserve this. He's an innocent man. Remember me when you come in your kingdom. Today, you'll be with me in paradise. And then when you have that 3 that we have. We have the 3, at noon, darkness covered the entire area for 3 hours. At 3 o'clock, my God, why have you forsaken me? It's finished. He died. Earth shook. Rocks broke in two, split in two. The veil was torn from top to bottom. Truly, this was the Son of God. Broke the legs. The spear in his side. Brought the body down. Wrapped it in linen cloth. Put it in the tomb. Rolled the stone. Said 3 days. So they put a seal on the stone. Put 2 guards. Practice that. Once you have that down, then stumble through the story. I think you'll find that you will greatly appreciate having learned this story, and it'll be used over and over again. And don't forget, learn the next story, the resurrection. It's a fun story to tell. I love telling that story. And the Lord bless you as you learn more about the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus.